news. It's the latest phenomenon that has taken the internet, the mainstream media, and the United States government all by storm. And in this video, we're going to take a look at exactly how fake news is created and promoted. And we're going to do so just by looking at the headlines that have been featured this week.
Regrettably, some seem to believe that the U.S. friendship means the U.S. must accept any policy, regardless of our own interests. Friends need to tell each other the hard truths, and friendships require mutual respect.
So you've probably heard by now that the United States abstained from a vote on a United Nations resolution that would condemn Israeli settlements on occupied Palestinian territory. Now this is very real news because it differs from everything that the Obama administration has done over the last 8 years. In a speech responding to the outrage that was created by this resolution, Secretary of State John Kerry said the United States voted the way it did in order to stay in accordance with our own values.
I am compelled to respond today that the United States did in fact vote in accordance with our values, just as previous U.S. administrations have done at the Security Council before us.
Not surprisingly, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was quick to let the world know that he did not appreciate Kerry's speech and he was not very happy with the Obama administration.
Secretary Kerry paid lip service to the unremitting campaign of terrorism that has been waged by the Palestinians against the Jewish state for nearly a century.
So where does fake news come into play in all of this? Well, it's no surprise that a story like this would reignite all of the rumors about tensions between Obama and Netanyahu. But the thing that was really surprising with this particular story was the fact that reports started coming out from Netanyahu's allies saying that surely this resolution was created and backed by Obama. They even said they had proof, not that they would release that proof to the public, but that they would give it to Trump whenever he becomes president in January. So how is the public supposed to determine if these rumors being spread throughout the media are actually true, and if tensions between the United States and Israel really are worse than ever before? Well, in order to find the answer to that question, all you have to do is look at the numbers. Just 3 months ago, Obama signed off on the largest military aid package in United States history. This means that the U.S. will give Israel $38 billion over the next 10 years. That's nearly $4 billion a year. This is proof that not only is Obama not completely against Israel, but he's supporting Israel more than any other president in United States history.
America's commitment to Israel's security is unshakable.
What's also important to remember about this resolution is that it is non-binding. It essentially sets out a list of rules and guidelines for Israel to follow, but only gives them a slap on the wrist if they don't follow it. In response to all of the outrage, the White House promised that it will veto any future resolutions that are even remotely critical of Israel. Great. But the thing is that the White House doesn't exactly want to admit that they were wrong and consented to exactly what Israel wanted them to do in the first place. They also don't want to own up to all of these reports that are coming out of Syria this week. From reports of mass graves filled with tortured civilians found in eastern Aleppo on Wednesday, to reports of US-made weapons left behind by the militant groups on Thursday, it all comes together to undermine Obama's entire foreign policy strategy in the Middle East. If the mainstream media were honest with you and if they actually had the best interests of the public in mind, these are the stories they would be reporting on. But of course we don't hear that because alleged Russian election hacking comes back to save the day as the perfect distraction.
To send a clear message to Russia or others not to do this to us, because we can do stuff to you.
The White House is officially blaming Russia for significant malicious cyber-enabled activities, and as a result the US is sanctioning 4 Russian individuals and 5 Russian entities. And it has ordered 35 Russian diplomats to leave the country and 2 Russian compounds are being closed. The last time I checked, weren't sanctions supposed to be an act of war? But whatever, I don't know who makes the rules these days. So anyways, the FBI and DHS released a 13-page report about this alleged hacking, and yet it still does not give any concrete evidence that the Russian government was involved with hacking the servers of DNC officials that led to releasing information that allegedly led to the public being swayed to not vote for Hillary Clinton and instead gave Donald Trump the election. Even security experts said that there still was not any forensic proof contained in the report support. We live in a time where any news outlet that dares to question the narrative of the United States government is automatically labeled as fake news or Russian propaganda. Yet if you watch the news cycle for an entire week, anytime a story comes up that might paint our government in a bad light, the mainstream media is there to save the day with the perfect distraction. They follow the exact line that the government sets for them, and they repeat the exact same narrative. Is that not propaganda? If anything in this video resonated with you, be sure to share it on social media. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. If you want to check out any of the sources that were mentioned in this video, they will be listed in the description box below. You can also check out the written version on wearechange.org. And as always, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, subscribe to The Skinny on YouTube.